Tonight, you'll be sitting at a dinner table with a drone right in front of you, ready to be ravished. Now, if you helped prepare the turkey, you may have noticed the "Please don't ask any questions about where I came from" label that is located on the packaging of every turkey. Guess all rules are meant to be broken. Turkeys are the only drone branch known for being genocided annually. But when you look at the numbers, it just doesn't add up. While 46 million turkeys are consumed each year on Thanksgiving alone, only 7 million turkeys exist in the entire country of America. If so many turkeys are on the tables of families each year, then why are they not extinct? Where are all these turkeys actually coming from?
The rising sales at fast food joints such as McDonald's and Taco Bell are pushing the need for lab-grown synthetic meat. Listen to what Mr. McDonald has to say about this.
We're gonna need some fake meat here soon.
Wow, and that was shot almost 200 years ago. Imagine how much meat is synthetic today. In fact, most fast food meat now is lab-grown, and you can bet the government has access to that same technology. Turkey meat, along with all other bird meat, is 100% synthetically developed in labs, designed to replicate the taste and texture of real meat.
But that's crazy!
Oh, is it really? McDonald's meat is 7% beef, while Taco Bell's meat is at 2%. Bird meat is simply at 0. If 98 synthetic is believable, why not 100?
I was so wrong. Thanks, birds aren't real!
You're welcome, Timothy. Aww. Listen, now that we're clear on where all this meat supposedly comes from, let's dive a little deeper. Now, it may be easy to fall into the trap of thinking, wow, 46 million drones out of commission, shot down. But don't be confused. This is no victory, okay? The government wants this to happen. This is a federal holiday. Thanksgiving is the U.S. government's party, a nationwide brainwashing ceremony. I mean, think about it. When families are expected to feed the capitalistic nature of the bird, wake up and watch the bird, bathe the bird, dress the bird, pray to the bird, then sacrifice the bird, subconsciously making the lie a part of themselves, all under the guise of a holiday. So tonight, as you sit around the altar with your loved ones, just remember, the only thing that separates this meal from a McDouble are the mashed potatoes.
Oh shit, I forgot to add y'all's audio. Woo.
That makes me want Taco Bell.
No, wait, your audio is here. Okay. We are live.
Hello!
Hello! How's everybody doing on Saturday night?
No,
It's Saturday night.
It's Saturday night. Woo.
Hello, bipeds.
So I guess we didn't really decide who's hosting. So, Fish, do you want to take it or do you want me to?
Go for it.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Black Site Area 33. This is our first show, and we have no clue what we're doing, but we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So, I am here. I am Quitties the Sprinkler. As always, beside me is the wonderful Vishanti. Hey, Vishanti.
How's it going?
Great. And we also have Mr. Chrismer producing. What's up, Chrismer?
I'm just sitting over here face palming at Little Wolf trying to eat the wires. They're not for eating. They're not food. They're not the
He'll find that out. He'll find that out soon enough when he gets electrocuted. Speaking of Little Wolf, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. I finally got some sleep today, so I'm actually feeling good.
Good boy.
Yeah.
And finally, to round it out, we've got the amazing ForNoRaisin. How you doing tonight?
Hi. I'm okay. How's everyone?
Great. So, we've got a really, really interesting show for you guys tonight. Of course, we just saw that turkeys aren't real. So, what you're eating this week for Thanksgiving, if you are in the U.S., if you're not in the U.S., then, you guys suck. But if you are in the U.S.,
Thanksgiving with groups anyway, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. Don't bring super spreader events. And even if your family doesn't get sick, you're going to bring it back home. So don't do it.
Yes, exactly. But you can still go to the store and buy some sliced turkey and eat it on your own while you sit there weeping about being alone. But yeah, you're not eating real meat. You're eating lab grown, or he wasn't really clear whether it's lab grown or fake or what, but we just know that turkeys aren't real.
Yeah, I mean,
period.
If you've ever eaten a turkey at Thanksgiving, you just think you have.
Yeah. And all those times when I was growing up, when we would, buy a turkey and raise it and then slaughter it and cook it for Thanksgiving, we weren't actually doing that. It was just a drone the whole time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Drone lives matter.
I was shocked when I learned that myself. I mean, all this time I thought it was a giant bird, but it's just a drone. It's lab-grown meat, man.
It makes sense to me. I always thought it was unusual that every time I bit into the leg, it was the piece that just stuck in your mouth and shocked you.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Yeah, those are the implants.
Yeah.
Those are the implants they give you to test your stomach contents. Yeah, it's a big government thing. They have to know what's in your stomach at all times.
I mean, are these turkeys like the quadcopter drones with the 4 propellers? Because the propellers are the tastiest part, so I want at least 2 of those.
Well, I mean, they are a little gamey, so maybe they have more than 4 propellers.
Yeah, they could be like the 6 propeller kind, like the really big drones.
Are they battery operated or solar?
Ooh, good question.
Probably a mix.
All right, so tonight on tap, we have Gorillas Are Fake.
Well,
because not only turkeys. Oh, yeah, that's right. What do we have before that?
Nathan Thompson's little pranking. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So by now, I'm sure everyone is aware that Nathan Thompson is a fucking idiot. Ding! And he's still not sure that he's been pranked. Even though everyone, even flat earthers, are saying, dude, you got pranked. You're a dumbass. And yet he's still not sure that he was pranked. He still thinks it's real. So we're going to take a look at that tonight and laugh at how stupid he is.
Yeah, want me to go ahead and load up that video?
Bring it on.
Yeah. All right.
You make bad time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. Rodeo, rubber ducky, joy of joy. When I squeeze you,
because
you
all
make
Harvard
noise.
scientists wear ducks.
Rubber ducky, you're my very best.
Of course.
I thought that was common knowledge.
You can tell that Nathan knows he's made a fool of himself. That's why he's hanging out here so much. Because he wants to... It bothers him so much that people are laughing at him. He wants to be here to fend off the laughter. You're not going to be able to be here 24/7, Nathan.
You know the gig's up. It's not a spinning ball, so you're concerned about Florida laughing at me?
Yeah, we're concerned about two guys dressed as duck.
Yeah.
What gig, Nathan?
Jim,
Is this the gig you made up?
Coriolis effect or not?
Who you thought were Harvard scientists?
Well, that was a great red herring.
Not a red herring, it's a fact. It's
Nathan
something that
loves
just
to
happened, doesn't it? It's
say random fallacies that have no bearing on what's going on.
You're right.
Tell me, did you know that they were Harvard scientists, or did you believe?
Shanti, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was going to ask you to pause because Nathan is so dumb and he has so much pride that he could never admit that he's being pranked. And when anyone calls him on it, he doesn't have a defense. So he'll just be like, yeah, well, the earth is flat, flat water.
Yeah, he's so narcissistic that he can't possibly fathom that someone actually did get something over on him. And he wants to believe it. He wants to believe that the earth is flat so bad that he's willing to ignore the fact that, these guys were wearing duck suits to perform an experiment that he never actually saw the experiment being performed. They just kind of said, oh, well, that's it. And, FTFE and Team Skeptic talked about it the other day. A magnet that strong would have basically destroyed the Earth.
Yeah, didn't they say they had?
But somehow,
didn't they say they had two gigantic super magnets that were on either side of the Earth, basically?
Yeah, like something that strong. You would have felt the attraction to it if it were real.
Yeah.
Let's forget it destroying the ionosphere or completely messing with all of our computers or compasses or anything like that. Let's just forget that on the smaller scale and go right to the huge scale and just what? How is he missing all of that?
Yeah. I mean, the Earth's magnetic field is what protects us from all the solar radiation. And a magnet that large would have thrown that off and basically just fried the Earth. Yeah. I mean, right now, it would have looked like Judgment Day from Terminator 2 when the bombs go off. We would have just been skeletons. But
okay.
I guess not. But yeah, Nathan didn't think of any of that. The only thing he thought of was, hey, these guys said that they were Harvard scientists, and now they're saying the Earth is flat, so I'm right! Yay for me!
He's such an idiot.
One other thing that I noticed in that, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a quick little pop-up there from one of the black site squirrels, Booma, but he was something to do with ducks. I forgot exactly what it said, but making fun of Nathan Thompson, he changed his name to something to do with ducks.
That sounds like a Booma thing to do.
Yeah, it does. We love you, Booma.
Yeah, man. Back to the video.
All right, let's keep going.
Believe that they were Harvard scientists.
I don't have an opinion either way.
Right.
Gotcha, Nathan.
Okay, Ducka.
Do you guys know they're not Harvard scientists? Or do
Yes.
Oh,
we do. We know they're not Harvard scientists, Nathan.
So they're not from Harvard. And your evidence is?
A whole series of videos they did taking the piss out of Scientology.
They made videos about Scientology, so
people taking the piss out of you today. That was fucking wicked, or whenever it was.
So what I was going to say is that Nathan is literally trying to put the burden of proof on them. He's like, "Oh, what's your proof that they're not from Harvard?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
Like he
exactly what it is.
he can't fathom that they pranked him.
Yeah.
And so now the people that he's talking to have to prove to him that these guys don't go to Harvard, which, you can't prove a negative. So,
Well, I mean, in that case, you could, because there's transcripts and registers of the students, but that's not their burden of proof.
Right. It's his burden of proof to show that, yes, they are actually from Harvard.
That's just
but he
it.
has no proof.
He doesn't understand burden of proof. He just expects everybody to hand everything to him on a silver plate, and it better say the earth is flat. Otherwise, he's dumping it on the ground.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Period.
That's usually one of their big MOs all the time, is they'll ask a question, we'll give them proof, and then they'll shift the goalpost and ask for different proof.
Yeah. Or, if they can't shift the goalpost, then just deny.
Yep.
That's pretty much their 3-combo move, and that's it.
And it's always some sort of dumb logical fallacy that is not actually a logical fallacy, but they think it is.
Yeah, because they're idiots. I mean,
Reification fallacy. That's the fallacy. That's the burden of proof fallacy. That's the fallacy of not thinking the earth is flat fallacy.
What was it? The bottom up fallacy that Nathan tried to use against R and Ra.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Where if something vanishes from the bottom up, that's a bottom up fallacy.
Here, there was the briefcase fallacy.
We should just call it the Nathan Thompson fallacy.
Yeah,
whenever Nathan Thompson speaks, it's a Nathan Thompson fallacy.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's play a little more of this.
Notebook just filled with all of those different fallacies that he supposedly found.
Yeah.
Fallacies.
Yeah.
Found fallacy. The fallacy finding fallacy. Anyway.
Those videos, they talk about how they moved to California from where, I can't remember where it was they lived, but they basically moved to California and lived in a car, I think, for a couple of weeks. So they're not Harvard scientists, dude. I know that.
Chirp.
So they made a YouTube video saying that they went to California, and that's how you know they didn't go to Harvard.
Yes, because I've seen, heard some of their background and seen what they're capable of doing. They clearly had some. They've clearly had some. I'm telling you, they clearly had some media training of some because they're very, very good at video production and that kind of thing. So I think they mention media training at some point. I can't really remember, but suffice to say, they aren't Harvard students.
Pause.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. What was your?
So I know that this is a dumb flurf server or whatever, but the guy's not making his point very well by going, well, I mean, they clearly have had some media training, and they lived in a car for a while, and dude, Nathan eats people for lunch that talk like that.
Yeah, he does. I mean, all you have to do is just pull up their fucking YouTube channel and show that they're pranksters.
That's all the guy would have had to say, but he's sitting here trying to go, well, I mean, they've had some media training. They lived in a car. Just pull up their fucking YouTube channel. That's all he had to do.
Just show up because there's a little button on the Discord that lets you share video. And, I'm using it right now, actually.
This is what one of my old music professors used to call going around your ass to get to your elbow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Well,
Normally, I would say that's a fun time, but we are talking about Nathan Thompson, so.
Yeah, I don't want to think about Nathan Thompson ass.
Oh.
As someone who, and I will continue to remind people of this, as someone who made a commercial about Nathan Thompson and had to go through his Facebook, pulling naked pictures of Nathan Thompson and saving them on my computer for that commercial, I don't want to think about anything to do with him anymore.
Yeah.
And that killed your computer, didn't it?
Yeah. I literally have a new computer now after doing that.
Yeah.
Even your computer's like, nope, I'm out.
It was like fuck this, I'm done. It just killed itself.
Committed Sudoku.
Sudoku.
I know. That was,
Yeah.
It was
Committed Sudoku.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
It sat there trying to do a grid of numbers. That's exactly what it did.
Exactly.
Trying to wait for it to add up.
That was a joke. You know, I know what it's seppuku. I know.
Anywho.
YouTube video.
Your evidence?
But if I've just told you.
You just repeated yourself.
Well, that's the evidence. Don't have any more evidence. That's it. That's what I've got to go on.
Well, that's pretty circular.
Well, what have you got? Two guys dressed as ducks who you think are scientists.
No.
Whose theory works best? Think about it, Nathan.
When did I say? When did I say?
Are they YouTube? Are they professional YouTube trolls, or are they Harvard scientists? Let's think.
Stupid logical fallacy in 3, 2,
Which of
1.
these two groups of people is most likely to be dressed like a duck in a YouTube video?
Yeah, but you didn't. hear what I
Harvard
said.
scientists or professional YouTube trolls? Take your pick, Nathan. It's
But
a multiple choice question, and you've got a 50% chance of getting it right.
That's a false
Come on.
dichotomy fallacy.
Which one are we going for?
Do you know what
well, if you want to table another theory as to who they are and what they're doing, then be my guest.
But
I didn't realize there was another choice. I thought we would just go.
It's all right,
Go
Dan.
ahead.
Let me explain to you the other choice. If you could just
Go
shut
ahead.
the fuck up for 10 seconds.
Okay, I'll look forward to it.
You acted like going to Harvard and being an internet troll were mutually exclusive.
He's drunk.
That's well, no, they're not mutually exclusive.
Well, no,
However,
you're right. You're right. They're not mutually exclusive.
You're not right.
So
You're not right. Well, it doesn't matter.
Have to be
It doesn't matter, Nathan. It doesn't matter whether that's true or not.
Troll. So you agree it's a false dichotomy fallacy.
Right. So they're internet trolls and Harvard scientists.
Do you agree?
Okay, mate.
Can you concede that was a false dichotomy fallacy?
It's not a false dichotomy. I'm asking you to choose which they are. If you're saying that they're both, fine. If that's what you believe, it's still you can still make the choice that they are Harvard students.
I don't know about you guys, but I can't listen to Discord conversations like that for hours.
Yeah, I can't either. I can't.
Much less minutes. Especially
Well, there are sometimes at night when nothing else is going on, and I'll just kind of jump into Gem Pandas for a bit and listen and try and fall asleep to it. But yeah, there's only so much you can put up with that.
I can't even fall asleep to that. Like the flurfs that will be talking just trigger me so badly that I can't fall asleep. So I just can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I went on the Gym Pandas like twice, and once had my sexuality question, and I'm not. No, No.
Why do flat earthers have to be such shitty people, though?
Yeah.
Like what
shitty
does your
things.
sexuality have to do with anything?
Nothing.
No, I don't know. It has nothing to do with anything. They will find anything to dig in and basically try to quote unquote wreck you, which they didn't accomplish.
Yeah.
Well, they did not accomplish doing that because it went right back to the
Yeah.
conversation.
I mean, it's a character assassination tactic. Look at, Aaron Ra and Nathan Thompson, where Aaron's drinking something and Nathan just keeps attacking him for drinking
Yeah, I noticed that.
what he perceives as alcohol, even though Nathan is drunk all the time on streams, and Aaron was not.
Yeah.
It was just a way for him to try to, assassinate Aaron's character a little bit.
Yeah.
Just something to latch onto.
Yeah, I mean,
any form of ad hom that they can get, they will use.
Yeah.
It's
yes, they will.
Pettiness, pure pettiness.
Yep.
And wasn't there even a video where he talked about making his own mead, and somebody brought up, "Aren't you a vegan?"
No, he was drinking mead.
He was drinking mead. Yeah.
He was talking about being a vegan, and then was like, "Oh, and I'm drinking this mead," and someone was like, "Dude, mead is not vegan." And he looked like he was going to cry in the middle of the stream.
Yep,
it was hilarious.
Oh my God, amazing.
Meat has honey in it, and honey is not vegan. Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know that or forget it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same with Jell-O. Like, you don't think about gelatin being ground up animal bones.
Unless you're
but
Jewish
and
and
is.
you're like, oh,
yeah.
it's got gelatin in it. We don't eat that because it's not kosher. Unless it's vegetarian gelatin or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same thing when I was in Islam, and we had to really be careful with what we ate and had to go to certain stores and buy certain food.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it's haram.
Mm-hmm. Halal.
Halal or haram, yeah.
Yeah. I just eat whatever the hell I want to eat.
Oh, that's how I
like
am
it
now,
better
yeah.
that way.
I just eat whatever. If I see something that looks like food, I'll eat it.
If it's
I'm on a seafood
I eat
diet.
it first.
I'm on a seafood diet. When I see food, I eat it.
Yeah, that's right. Me too.
Well, it doesn't even have to be food. If I see it and it looks like food, I'm gonna eat it. It just looks like food. I'm hungry. Get in my belly.
All right. Do we want to keep going with this, or do we want to move on?
Let's move on. That's pretty much.
Yeah, I'd say move
Yeah.
on. No.
So, yeah, Nathan, I think now has realized that they, pulled a prank on him, and now he's trying to say that he knew the whole time that they were just pranking him, which he did not know. And if you go and watch his actual live stream of the event or video, whatever it was, he's 100% convinced that they just quote unquote proved that the earth is flat.
Yeah. He's a dumbass.
Because of course he did.
He's a dumbass. I mean, Nathan Thompson.
And he's so proud of it in that video. They even do the little stupid keep it flat arm level thing, whatever it is that he does.
The Freemason sign.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to what we're actually doing tonight will be Hans Wormhat talking about gorillas.
So yeah, gorillas apparently are fake. Well, everything is fake according to Hans Wormhat.
Yeah, everything
but
is fake.
Especially gorillas.
Yeah, they're just humans. They're just humans in gorilla suits. You know that? I mean.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
I mean, who doesn't know that?
wasn't real? Tarzan's fake? No.
Yeah, Tarzan's fake because gorillas are fake.
Yeah, I thought King Kong was totally real.
Yeah, well, King Kong was definitely real. I mean, that's.
I was going to say, you better not tell me that King Kong being able to rip apart a dinosaur's skull is not real. That happened. That was all real.
Well, you know how we know it's real is because the original King Kong, he climbed the Empire State Building, and there's no human that's actually big enough to climb the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
So it had to be real.
Yeah, there's no human big enough to fit inside that big ass suit. I mean, come on now. That's just logic.
And there was no CGI back then.
Yeah, there was no CGI
for the original.
Yeah, there was. I mean, NASA had that CGI technology like 2,000 years ago.
Well, that's NASA.
Yeah, that's NASA. That's not film studios.
And you know, Level Earth Observer thinks it's all a Hollywood production, so NASA and Hollywood are the same thing according to him. Therefore, Hollywood had CGI like 2,000 years ago.
That's solid logic there, but may I rebut with?
Yes.
May I rebut with nuh-uh.
Well, they're paying me in begging strips, so I can't really deny anything.
That's fair.
That's fair enough. But yeah, on to the video. Take me a second. There we go.
In this video, I want to talk about gray ape hoax. There is no such thing as gray apes. They're people in fursuits. It's a huge...
And of course, we're going with the Freaky Blinder.
Go nuts on my nuts.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Playing a Blinder with me, the Creaky Blinder. What the hell is this 1970s porn star music about? This is a conspiracy video featuring Hans Wormhat, or whatever his name is. That's better.
Before we get too far into this, hey everybody, go sub to the Creaky Blinder.
Yeah.
You will not regret it. His videos are so well done. He has regular hangouts on Sundays where you can chat with him and ask him questions. And he does some of the best videos on woo peddlers and idiots that I've ever seen.
And he totally doesn't have an accent.
Nope, not even a little.
No, absolutely none whatsoever.
Heidi.
C-G-I.
C-G-I.
Back to the VT.
It's a huge satanic deception to try to get you to think that you're an evolved monkey.
No, it still doesn't feel conspiracy-ish. We need to do something. The music is good, but we need some filters and some mood-creating visuals. Yeah, that helps. By now we're all familiar with Hans, who I suspect is also Heidi, but that's a different video entirely. And in today's episode of Playing a Blinder, we're going to be having a look at Hans's belief, if you can call it that, as to apes not being real at.
Yeah.
Maybe we can watch this at like 1.25.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Why's that? Speed it.
Tall. So every gorilla you've ever seen at a zoo, in the wild, is just a guy dressed in a fursuit. So let's explore the wonderful world of Hans Wormhat.
You are not an evolved monkey. Evolution is not true. Creatures can adapt.
Now far be it from me to call somebody wrong, Hans. I would never do such a thing. But doesn't adapting equate to evolving? Like for example the tawny owl. Now the tawny owl comes in two colours, brown and grey. The grey colour is favoured by owls that live in snowy environments because they can blend in. But as the winters have got milder and they don't need to blend into the snowy background as well, they've adapted or evolved, and now brown tawny owls are much more commonly found than grey.
And that's the truth. And that's the way that God made this place, so that things can adapt to the environment that they're in.
Apologies for interrupting again, but I'm finding this really confusing. Now, Hans Wormhat is an evolution denier, and I know this video is meant to be about gorillas being fake, and we will get there, I promise. But he's saying that... I'm confused. Isn't adaptation just a result of evolution?
Yeah.
Because things evolve to be more suited to their surroundings. They adapt.
I was going to say, he said that, oh, this is a lie to make people believe in evolution, but, I guess all of the ancient cultures who knew about gorillas and apes were just trying to get people to not believe in, or to believe in evolution then.
Yeah.
But were gorillas on the
ago.
ark? That's the real question.
Well, of course they were.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I guess they were if, dinosaurs were too.
Yeah,
Not every dinosaur, just the basic kinds.
Well, I mean...
And kangaroos.
One of the Aztecs from Tezcatlipoca actually turned all of the human race into apes. So, I mean, there's that. Then they evolved from then. Duh.
Of course.
Duh.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Absolute logic.
The sun god just got pissed off at humanity and turned them all into apes. And then later created more humans, but that pissed off another sun god, but that's another story.
Yeah. Kind of like, the Christian god got mad at humanity, so he just flooded the entire world.
Oh,
well, I mean, it seems like all those old gods are just fighting amongst themselves anyway. What else do you have to do when you're immortal?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, no.
So they're into water sports?
Kinky.
Then there's Huaquahutle, who actually flooded the earth with bloody tears for 42 years. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, she got really upset and just cried blood for 42 years.
That sounds really unhygienic.
Yeah, it
But
does.
That
goth
just
as
sounds
hell.
painful. Very goth, yes.
Well, the Aztecs.
This is why you need a simple, safe word.
The Aztecs were the
Like,
original
no.
Safe word, no. Anyway, back to the VT.
And evolution that they sell you in school is just a satanic deception.
Now I get it. A satanic deception. Evolution isn't real because there is no god required.
The biggest thing that can just prove that it's wrong is just that this great ape hoax.
No, just to make it clear for everyone, when he says this great ape hoax, what Hans is saying in this video is that gorillas and other big primates, what he's saying is that they don't exist at all, and that every time you see one it's just a guy like me, or you, or a girl, dressed up in a monkey suit.
That they're fursuits, and that they've been created to try to prove evolution. Same thing with, this goes way past great apes. Animals, fake animals like the platypus, that they've just invented to try to prove evolution.
Hope you're not going to try and say that platypus is just
Oh my
somebody
god.
dressed up
Oh
as well.
my
It doesn't
god.
even have to be a...
Oh my god, pause. He literally still thinks that platypus are fake?
Yeah.
Of course he does. I don't know why I thought that he wouldn't. The literal biologist and, well, naturalist, I guess they were still called then at the 19th century, they saw drawings and representations of platypus and were like, that animal's made up. There's no such thing as that, until they saw like a real one. We're like, oh, hot damn, I guess it is real. Sorry, JK.
My biggest question in all of this is, who is paying all of these people to wear these suits?
Yeah.
And where do I get this job?
Yeah, because I'm still waiting for my shill check. It has been in the mail for like the past year and a half.
It'll be there in 4 to 6 solar business days.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it. But seriously, who's paying all of those people? Like, those suits are expensive.
Who is training all the baby actors in those tiny suits to look like baby gorillas?
Do you know how much an actual
Oh,
fursuit costs?
they could be short people.
Yeah, like legitimately, a fursuit costs anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000, and that's not the like high end ones.
Yeah, those are the cheap ones that look kind of cartoony.
So, who is paying for all these fursuits? Who is paying all these people to wear these fursuits? Who is making all of these fursuits? Because if you like gain just even 15 pounds, you have to get it retailored.
They are paying for it.
They.
Yes, I forget they all the time. I forget about they. Oh, silly me.
They just, they do everything.
Who are they anyway?
They are what to do.
That's who they are.
They are they.
So when I get my paycheck, I just need to make sure that it's signed by they? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
And I know people come in all shapes and sizes, but I've never met anyone platypus shape or size.
Just even looking into the history of the platypus, you can see that people called it as a hoax in the past, but they keep running with it, and eventually it gets adopted. Because now we got CGI, so they can make people believe anything.
CGI? What's that going to do with anything? Now, in the late 18th century, when the first platypus specimen was sent back to England to be examined by scientists, yeah, you're right, they did think it was a hoax. But after they'd examined it, they said that it was one of the most remarkable animals they'd ever encountered, due to its ability to lay eggs. And interestingly enough, or maybe it's just me, did you know that a platypus doesn't have nipples?
But gray apes, probably the biggest part of the evolution hoax, making people believe that they're just evolved monkeys. And even if you have people out there that deny evolution, let's say that you somehow find a pastor that denies evolution. It's not like they're going to be going around saying, oh, it's a big satanic deception, gorillas are just fursuits. No. They'll just say something like, well, yeah, we have chimps and we have all the orangutans, but we don't have the missing link.
Well, Hans, that's probably because he's busy making YouTube videos.
Instead of just coming and telling you the truth, which is their fursuits.
No, there's something that's always bothered me. Well, I say always, I should say, since I've started making this type of content. Is this guy really expecting people to believe that gorillas have never existed? And that many years ago, somebody from a non-religious background decided that it was a problem that there were people that didn't believe in evolution, and his solution to that problem was to orchestrate a mass... I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say. So he thinks that the answer to people denying evolution was to get thousands of people to dress up as gorillas to keep the facade going. Is that what he's saying?
And to not believe the scientism. They want to play both sides too. They want to get you to accept all the science.
Time check. How long have we been going for? Because I don't know what time we started.
42 minutes and some seconds.
42. Okay.
That was it?
Yeah. I'll make sure I keep my timer going.
Alright.
Also check the green room.
But then create just a sliver of doubt about it. And it doesn't really help. That's not convincing to anyone to say, oh, well, they're just missing that one little link. We're being bombarded by propaganda every day telling us that we're just a monkey.
I never get anyone accusing me of being a monkey. I know I may look a bit bizarre, but I'm definitely not a monkey. And basically all Hans is doing here is the same as every other conspiracy theorist out there. They just look for the smallest chink in the armour and they hone in and focus on that one point and completely ignore everything that evidence shows to be true.
So if somebody comes to us and tells us, oh, but they're missing a little link between us and them, that doesn't help anything. But if you can show somebody how to see with their eyes that it's just a fursuit, it breaks the spell. And how much better proof is that? The fact that they're going out of their way to create these fake creatures to make people think that they're monkeys. I have no doubt in my mind that evolution is BS.
Well, Hans, your mind is questioned.
I love that he's like, you just tell people to see them that they're fursuits. He's not actually going, hey, everybody, let's dissect a gorilla. Let's cut open an ape and see if there's really a fursuit there or if it's an actual animal.
Well, I want to pose a question to Hans, because not only does he think that gorillas are fake, he also thinks platypi are fake. He also thinks toucans are fake. All these animals are fake. So which sounds more reasonable, that they are making up all of these animals and doing all this work to glue beaks onto toucans and put people in gorilla suits and everything like that, or that these things actually exist?
Occam's razor, it's the simplest or the explanation that requires the least amount of extra bullshit is most likely the right one.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
He's over here doing freaking Cirque du Soleil level acrobatics to try to call everything fake.
Yeah, it's just they have a compulsion to think everything is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy theorist mindset.
That's the problem with conspiracy theorists, is that they believe that everyone is lying to them, that only they know the truth, quote unquote. And you know, that people are willing to go to these great lengths, like paying people to be in gorilla suits all the time, 24 hours a day, and never ever break character whatsoever.
That's
Instead of,
only when
you
the
know,
zoos are open or when people are on a safari.
yeah. I mean, you know, if you go out in Africa and find gorillas in the wild, then they'll just have to sit there and act like gorillas until you leave, and then they can unzip their suits and get
I feel
something to
bad
drink.
for the gorillas. I feel really bad for the gorillas who were being viewed by Jane Goodall.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she was there for years, right?
Yeah, that's like 2-3 years at a time she was there. They had to be there like that for 3 years. Oh, no.
I bet those suits got real smelly.
They better have been getting some good overtime pay for that.
Or it's like you could
that's
even
breaking
look
the
up
rules.
you could look up videos from people who work in Disney and have to dress up as characters and see how hard it is to actually dress up like
Yeah,
that.
I know some.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, even, you know, the princess costumes and prince costumes, like those costumes get really, really hot in the middle of the summer in
Yeah, they
Florida.
Because they're made of
And in
wool.
California,
Because they're made of wool. That's why.
some of them
Yeah.
are.
Well, some of them
But like
aren't.
you can't take
Yeah.
them with you. Like they're laundered and cleaned on site. You can't leave
Yeah.
with them. They stay on Disney property at all times.
Yep. So back to video.
Yep.
Click on this link. There we go.
At best, there's no way that you really believe that gorillas don't exist and that it's just people dressed up in fursuits. I mean, do you ever listen to what you say?
It's the same thing as waking up to the fake NASA
No,
stuff.
they don't.
When you realize how much
They
effort
don't
they put
listen to what
into
they
getting
say.
you to believe this ball or fly, I have no doubt in my mind that I live on a flat plane.
And as I just said, Hans, your mind is questionable about... And as I just said, Hans, your mind is questionable at best. You believe the Earth is flat as well? Shock horror. NASA don't... Does it really matter? Just carry on.
No, flat Earth, whatever, the way that God made it. I don't... Shills will try to drag you into other stuff. Oh, infinite plane, oh, blah, blah, blah. No. The Bible is true. The Earth is like the Bible says.
Right. In the mission, I want to throw down a challenge to all flat earthers. Any conspiracist. You show me in the Bible, point out the passage, because I can't be bothered to read the Bible myself. Yeah, right. You show me in the Bible the words, the earth is flat. And I don't mean show me a passage that possibly could be interpreted in that way. I mean, you show me the words, God created the earth as a flat plane. Because the Bible doesn't say the earth is flat. The Bible makes no reference to the shape of the earth at all. So please, stop with the nonsense. Okay, back to Hans.
The Bible doesn't talk about gorillas and chimpanzees and evolution and millions of years. All of that scientism stuff you just gotta get rid of because it's a satanic deception.
But there are a lot of books that don't talk about gorillas and apes and science. Because they're not science books and it's not relevant to what the book is written about.
Anything that you've just been brainwashed into since a young child, you should just know that that's a bunch of BS. Outer Spaceland gets pushed on people, on little children. All of these fake animals get pushed on children. Zebras, chimpanzees, all the monkey stuff.
Pause. The Bible, I hate to tell him this, but the Bible is not the end-all, be-all book of everything that's ever existed and ever will exist. Yeah. It was written by dirt farmers in the Middle East 2,000, 4,000 years ago, whatever. And they didn't know very much except for the shit that was right around them. They had, they didn't understand science. They didn't understand the world around them. They had no idea that anything within closer than about 50-mile radius around them even existed at the time. So how does he think that the Bible knows everything or is the ultimate source of knowledge?
They want to have it both ways. They want to be like, the Bible doesn't say something about this, but then when we start mentioning modern concepts or things that we know to be true, like credit cards or the internet, they're like, well, it doesn't have to mention this specific thing because the principle of blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, all the people that lived in the Levantine region knew about all the other empires and civilizations in that area. They knew Greece was a thing. They knew Sumer was a thing. They knew Egypt was a thing. They knew Persia later on was a thing. They didn't just sit there in their own teeny tiny little neighborhood. They'd starve to death. You have to trade with people. You have to like let your flocks roam and graze and shit. If you're doing trade, you know, merchants. They traveled a lot. It's like they studied astronomy for fuck's sake. They didn't have to have calculus or anything, but they knew when the seasons happened. They knew when to plant. They knew what fucking time of year it was. They knew when the equinoxes happened. They weren't like blithering idiots like Hans Wormhat who doesn't believe anything is real.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, these people knew a lot about astronomy. Yes, of course, they didn't know what stars were. They didn't know what planets were or anything like that. They didn't know what the sun was.
Egyptian version of the theory of relativity.
Right,
But it's like,
right.
He's acting like, oh, well, it doesn't say gorillas. Okay, but it also doesn't say the word for
electricity.
Let's think of a native animal that's not native to that area. You know, it doesn't have to name every single freaking animal that's ever existed. That book would be tedious.
Yeah. But at the same time, you know, the reason that they understood the movement of the stars and when the equinox was and stuff like that is because, you know, back then, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago, staring at the sky at night was basically like us watching primetime TV.
Yeah.
Like that's just what they did every night was look up and stare at the sky.
Again,
so they're going to know a lot.
They didn't have TV. They didn't have. They barely had the ability to read. That was considered a very high-end luxury. Books were expensive as could be back then. So being able to tell a story and hear a story, that was like going to a concert.
Yeah, and I mean,
right.
You pass on a lot of your traditions orally, but that doesn't automatically mean that someone tells a story and just goes, hey, I'm going to change it right now. All the other people that have heard the story know the way it went, plus the people that were alive when it happened, plus the fact that they did keep records. Babylon, Sumer, Egypt, Greece, they kept really fucking detailed records of like almost everything they did. They spent a lot of time writing down business transactions, and a lot of that shit's what survived on tablets and in papyrus scrolls. So they gave a fuck. And like, yeah, your priest class and your king class, they would mostly be the ones that were reading and writing. But it's not like they're just going to go, heh. We said we sold 50 barrels, but it was only 12. We're going to tell the people it's 50. Like, what do you think is going on? It's always a conspiracy. It's always a conspiracy. People from the religious side are like, oh, they are just trying to hide the truth. And skeptics are like, yeah, well, people changed it. Provide some fucking evidence or GTFO.
Yeah. Exactly.
If all you have are opinions, then goodbye. Like, if you want to say the text says this, prove it. If you want to say it was changed, prove it. Show a manuscript before the change and show one after.
But that's one of the big problems with religion is that people think that their beliefs matter more than facts.
Well, yeah.
So if their belief says this, then that is, quote unquote, the truth, regardless of what the facts say.
Right.
Yep.
I really wish I could find, there was a certain Bible that was called the Blasphemer's Bible, where instead of saying thou shalt not commit adultery, it says thou shalt commit adultery.
Oh, I saw that because of the printing typo or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you guys were talking about this a minute ago, how books were expensive. It's because they all had to be freaking handwritten.
Yeah.
That takes a real freaking time.
Not just handwritten, but the paper itself had to be created and everything. They didn't just have a paper mill to walk over and go, can I have some paper?
Yeah, it wasn't.
No, they had to make that themselves.
It wasn't actually paper. It was. I believe it was papyrus, which is
and like with
that's my
papyrus, you
point.
have to, like,
They
take
didn't
the
have
strips,
the ability
lay
to just
them
go
out,
over
dry
there.
them, put them together, flatten it out. It's like a whole process. You don't
And
just
then the
blink and go
ink
down with
alone to make the ink is special as well.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they would actually even use certain metals as scrolls if they wanted to make sure that that information survived a long time. They found with the Dead Sea Scrolls.
There's a metal one.
Yeah, I forget what metal it is, but they found lead scrolls, they found gold scrolls, things like that in different places where, you know, that's one way to ensure that that information did survive, because even papyrus, you know, if it gets too much humidity over 3,000 years, it's going to rot away.
Yeah. Well, not even that long. It'll rot away after a couple hundred years. I mean.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's another reason they liked stonework so much. And you see a lot of the clay tablets. It's easy to press them and do cuneiform when it's soft, and then it dries, and it's like, hey, this is going to last almost forever unless you just break it in half. And it's a really easy way to preserve stuff, especially if you've got a lot of time on your hands and you want to carve freaking messages into a stone wall. That lasts longer.
Yeah.
Barring an earthquake. Or vandals. Or your pissed off descendant.
Even like in Egypt, they did find some stones that were almost like little mini newspapers that were passed around to people.
Lately,
I mean, that's just so cool.
Recently, they actually found stone tablets. I believe it was in Egypt, under a well, inside a well that was all curses. And I'm like, dude, don't take that out this year. Just wait until 2021.
Yeah, it's 2020. Put that shit back.
Put that shit back. Put some concrete on top. Don't ever find it again.
Well, it's the same with you know. I think it was earlier this year. They said that they found a false wall in King Tut's tomb, and same thing. Like I'm like, you know, this is not the year to open a cursed tomb.
Yeah,
we need to wait until at least January before you start breaking down walls.
I know this has nothing to do with the cursed tombs and everything, but recently, I think it was like a week ago, they uncovered and revived ancient bacteria. 2020 again. Don't. Don't.
You guys need to slow your roll.
They found bacteria that
was been bad enough.
Bacteria, by the way, that was around during the time of the dinosaurs. So, yeah, don't.
Well, it goes back to Jurassic Park. It's like, you know, you did something before you thought about should we do it.
Yeah, exactly. So preoccupied thinking about whether or not you could, you didn't stop to think if you should.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeff Goldblum.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
And there it is.
2020.
All right, let's finish this video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets pushed really hard on children. Koalas, or animatronics, sloths. There's a reason that these are super popular toys and characters.
Well, you call it brainwashing. Normal people, like myself, and you people watching, most of you anyway, we would call it education. And there's a reason why these animals make popular stuffed toys for children. Really? It's nothing to do with the fact that maybe a little child would think a cute baby gorilla is just that, cute. And that's what attracts a small child to them. I can't follow your logic here, Hans. Of course, that's because you don't have any.
Here's just some fake scientism. In the 1930s, 2 psychologists adopted a baby chimp and tried to raise her as their child alongside their real infant son to see if this caused the chimp to learn human behavior. Notice nobody's scared. They get you to believe contradictory things all the time. They want you to think that these are really dangerous animals.
Interesting, Hans. So you really are that stupid then? Yeah, chimpanzees are pretty dangerous animals. Have you not seen the way they behave in the wild? Of course, you think they're fake, but they're not. They're a real primate. And did you know that chimpanzees are the only other species apart from human beings that experience, and more importantly, act on jealousy? There's an example. A guy in the States kept a chimpanzee as a pet, and he'd had it for years. He kept multiple chimpanzees, actually. And it was this one particular chimp's birthday, so he bought him a birthday cake. Now, the other chimpanzees could see this particular chimp being given a birthday cake, and they didn't like it. They got jealous, and they broke out of their enclosure, and they attacked the guy that owned them, and they ripped off his face, his fingers, his toes, and his dick, all over a birthday cake, just because they weren't getting any. So no, chimpanzees aren't dangerous at all. So, what do you think? Why am I even asking?
Pause.
Let me know down in the comments.
I almost forgot. There's another story about a woman who owned a pet chimp, and the chimp had been fine, perfectly well behaved for the entire time that she had it. And one of her friends came over, and out of nowhere, this chimp went literally ape shit and just mauled this woman, like her face.
Yeah, ripped her face off.
Yeah, her literal face, like just mauled her. Like she had to have so many reconstructive surgeries, and she still looks like a Picasso painting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Ooh.
They're wild animals. Like you never know what's going to set them off. And like the owner came out and was trying to calm the chimp down. Nothing worked. And the cops, showed up. Animal control showed up. It's an awful story. If you feel like looking it up, you should. Just be warned.
They ended up putting the chimp down, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because of it. Which that reminds me. That reminds me, there was a little white trash zoo close to where I grew up that I went to one time, and they had a chimp by itself in a cage, and some friends of mine and I went there, and I was talking to it, and like it would nod like it understood me, and we hung out with it. Poor thing looked so lonely. I was like, man, you're lonely. I'll sit here and talk to you for a little while. And I got ready to leave, and it flipped the fuck out because I stopped paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was so happy that someone was there paying attention to it. And then, I turned around and started looking at the giraffes next to it, and it flipped the fuck out and started throwing things around its enclosure.
Damn it, Chipmunk.
Yep. At least it didn't throw poo at me.
Well, that's good. It was probably sober then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's finish this.
We love you, Chipmunk.
Are gorillas real, or are they fake, like Hans says? But anyway, 2019 has been an absolutely fantastic year for me on YouTube. I cannot express my gratitude enough to everybody that supports me on the channel, and hopefully things will continue to go well in 2020, which starts in 6.5 short hours. So off you go. Enjoy New Year's Eve with your friends.
Yeah.
And I will see you all on
Got
Friday.
bad news for you there, 2019.
Oddly enough, because that's kind of the whole point of YouTube, is to make videos and upload them. Thanks very much for watching. If it's your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on bell notifications.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe that's the end.
Yep, that's the end of it.
How naive we were.
Man, 2020 or 2019 sucked. 2020 can't be any worse than that.
Me stares directly into the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brings totally new meaning to hindsight as 2020, huh?
God.
And now we're sitting here, November of 2020. We're like, man, this year sucks so bad. I can't wait for 2021.
Oh God.
Oh God. If 2021 is worse, just fucking end it all.
Oh God, I know. And it was like that asteroid didn't come close enough, and I'm like, damn it, you had one job. One job.
Well, Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck would have saved us anyway.
Yeah.
Of course.
As long as we get Steve Buscemi with the gun shooting at it, too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Incredible. So, what else do we have in terms of Hans Worms for brain?
We have gorillas that look almost human. One that's dicks out for Harambe.
Yes.
And we also have we don't have to play all of these tonight. We have a pretty good lineup here. My computer's just being a little bit slow. And it's
I
loading up the next page.
absolutely vote Dex out for Harambe.
Why don't gorillas throw poop? Oops, did not mean the right.
I mean,
because the suit would need a hole in it for you to poop into your hand.
Yeah.
So Dex out for Harambe?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hans Wormhat, I saw a social media post about Harambe. I guess Harambe would have been 21 years old today. Well, Harambe is a.
You can't even see the name right.
It was made in Hollywood, probably wherever they make wherever they do the special effects stuff. It's a fursuit. It's one of those things
wherever they do special effects stuff.
He obviously doesn't know that a lot of the work for studios is outsourced to like small local businesses that aren't always in California. Oh my god, this guy's such an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, does he think they get all of the suits from the people who made the Bigfoot video?
Oh my god. You can tell people who have literally never been to the actual city of Hollywood or been on any studio tours or worked in the business at all because they think Hollywood is just this monolith with like one single studio and one single costume department and one single FX team. It's like,
yeah,
God, this is literally wherever they make the fursuits. Oh, I'm on Wormhat. You.
It just looks like a fursuit.
Proceed. I'm just
Doesn't
gonna
look
make
like
fun
any
of him.
real animal I've ever known. Their noses are not.
Looks
wet,
like a fursuit, therefore it's a fursuit.
Whatever, they just don't look real. When
Whatever.
you know the truth,
I mean,
the
it
magic
doesn't look like
disappears
any
a little
animal
bit.
that I've ever
They
seen because
look
I'm a
more real when you
biologist.
believe in them, because that's just part of how
I'm a fucking idiot, therefore it's fake.
And it'll make you ignore things that you don't want to see. And expectation influences reality. So if you expect that it's a real thing,
Pause.
it'll look more real to you.
Was Harambe a female gorilla?
I believe so.
I thought it was a male.
Can somebody look that up? I'm too lazy to Google right now.
I can't Google right now.
I was gonna say whether or not Harambe was a female or a male gorilla. Literally look at any of the gorillas you see in the zoo. Some of them have junk. That's not a fursuit.
Yeah.
Plus, I love how he's like, it doesn't look like any other animal I've seen, except for every other monkey or gorilla or ape or anything you look at.
Or human. Like,
yeah, some humans like that too.
Well, no, I'm saying our general body structure is the same. You got
He's
the
like,
head
well,
on
it
top.
doesn't look like any animal I've ever seen. Well, oh my god, Hans, I didn't realize you'd seen every fucking animal on the face of the earth.
Oh wait, he's watching the claymation videos.
Like that little happy what was the name of it? The
Happy
FTFP
Tree.
loves. The FTFP loves so much. The little happy looking one that drops her babies whenever threatened.
Oh,
I can't remember the name of it
the
right now.
weird beaver looking one almost.
To answer your question, Google is telling me that Harambe was male.
Oh, okay.
440 pounds silverback.
Oh.
Okay, so Harambe's got junk.
Yeah, he's got a penis and testicles. Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if Hans thinks the junk is fake or not. Is the butthole like a fake butthole, or is it the butthole of the person in the suit?
Maybe Hans needs a very, very close-up look at the junk.
Hans getting teabagged by a gorilla.
Where we tell him to do his own research.
Has he ever actually... Okay. Has Hans ever actually been to a zoo that has a gorilla in it? Or an ape or chimpanzee
He
or
probably
monkeys?
is going to say, well, I went to them when I was a kid and I thought they were real, but now I know they're definitely fake.
Yeah.
And also,
I'm sure that's what it will say.
Isn't keeping humans in cages a little bit inhumane?
It's a lot inhumane.
Not according to Hans.
I mean,
because they're paid.
They're getting paid.
And then You can actually watch them eat. Like, just so much about this makes me like just want to throttle him.
Yeah, he would rather just sit there and call it fake than actually, go look at them and study them and determine that no, they're actually real. Spend 2 hours watching them in a zoo and you'll be able to tell that no, it's not a human in that
series of videos where we say that Hans Wormhat is fake. He's not a real person. He's just paid to portray a character named Hans Wormhat. And every time he puts out a video, we make a response until he either has to answer it or prove us wrong.
I like that. I really like that.
He's an actor that has to wear a Hans Wormhat suit.
Yeah, there you go. He's an actor that wears a Hans Wormhat suit.
I mean, he doesn't look like a Wormhat.
He's a chimpanzee that has to wear a human suit.
It's like the bug in an Edgar suit from the first Men in Black movie.
Exactly. I was just
yes.
Oh. Or the little alien inside the robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now I'll watch Men in Black. Oh.
Ooh.
Let's get back to it.
Yeah, how much more of this Wormhat crap are we gonna put up with tonight?
4 minutes left almost.
Okay.
To you, than if you know the truth that it's just a fursuit. It's an actor in a fursuit. You see, it looks like I don't know, it's made of wood or something. It's because it's made of these. They have these big foam.
He has never seen wood before then. Has never seen wood that looks like fur.
Must come from a fir tree.
We're telling him to do his own research, and he's a dude. So when he said it looks like it's made out of wood, I'm 12.
All right, Hans, then prove that leg is actual wood.
Okay, Hans, prove that you're not made of wood.
Prove that your leg is not a fir tree.
Give me 2 minutes and I can find out.
Prove that your hat is actually made out of worms.
Yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Screw it. He blew it. Back to the video.
All right, back to the video.
Underneath them, and anyways, you can go. There's this whole art to gorilla walking like a gorilla training. You can go look on YouTube. They don't hide this stuff. Go research gorilla actors. They use hand crutches to make their arms, because people will always come in with their hands. Their arms are so long. Yeah,
so, because there's a YouTube video walking like a gorilla, that means gorillas are fake.
Skulls.
No, wait. Hang on. I've got it. Where did the actors using sticks come from? Where did they come up with that idea? I mean, a logical person would say that they've seen an animal walk that way.
Yeah.
But he's not logical. So where did these actors come up with that? Did they sit down in their secret cabal meeting of actors and go, hey guys, we're going to make up an animal called a gorilla and we're going to make it walk like this?
Well, the problem with Hans Wormhat is I've seen some of his videos that don't deal with gorillas. He thinks pretty much every single animal on the face of the planet is fake.
Well, naturally.
Not just gorillas. He thinks everything is fake. He thinks everything is Hollywood NASA. And I'm not even exaggerating. He thinks it's Hollywood.
No, you really aren't.
Hollywood,
you really aren't.
He thinks Hollywood is owned by NASA.
Oh,
and
of course he does.
Just, what? What? Yeah.
So, okay, by Hans' logic here, because there's a video of people talking about walking like a gorilla, that means gorillas are fake. So because the Bengals sing a song, Walk Like an Egyptian, does that mean Egyptians are fake?
I was just about to ask that.
Or the song Everybody Does Do the Dinosaur. Does that mean dinosaurs are fake? Of course he believes dinosaurs are fake, never mind.
Well, yeah.
What about Walking on Sunshine?
I love Walking on
That means the sun is fake.
Yep. Sun is fake. There's the proof.
Well, I mean, just ask JM Truth. The sun has to be fake because fire needs oxygen to burn, and there's no oxygen in space. So,
or Walking on the Sun by Thresh Mouth.
Also, by the way, Vishanti Auburn just got a 100-and-something yard pick six.
Oh, sweet. I think I can pick it up on my stream before it goes live. Oh, watching it now. Oh, my God, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes, yes.
And the dude's name is Smoke Monday.
Yes, it is. I know Smoke.
That's almost as good. My favorite UNC player's name is Storm Duck.
Nice.
Football players have the best name. Anyway, back to Deck's out for Harambe.
Deck's out.
I said Dick Duck Deck.
Part of the gorilla is animatronic. And if you go back and look at the older suits.
Wait, it's animatronic? I thought he said it was a person in the suit.
Yeah, he did say it's animatronics. He said parts of them are animatronics, which doesn't make any sense either.
So is this animatronics
made out of wood?
So it's wooden animatronics from 2,000 years ago.
It's a person in a wooden animatronic suit.
Oh, that makes sense.
If we saw
is anybody else picturing Ace Ventura inside of the rhino?
Oh God!
Kind of hunting these rhinos.
Or the Brothers Grimsby. All I can think of is the elephant scene from Brothers Grimsby.
Oh my God! Yes.
Oh my God.
I just had a poo and it was white.
We gotta get through this video before we wrap. We have to.
Yeah.
I think
we're about
I
halfway
think our
through.
penile just fist bumped.
Are we watching him at like a faster speed than normal?
Yeah, let's pick him up a little bit. 1.5-ish.
Speed. Where's that at? Playback speed. There we go. 1.5. Okay.
Very high tech, but if you know the secret, you can still see what it is. Anyways, I haven't even got to the punchline of this video. I think I made a connection. There's a meme with Haram. The meme with Haram, excuse my language, is...
You can't even say the name Harambe.
Until people have brought this to my attention. You never see the penis on a gorilla. They don't make a fake penis for these suits.
Oh my God.
For whatever.
That's because his leg is in the way, dumbass.
His leg's in the fucking way, you goddamn idiot. Ding.
Also, I don't think Hans wants to admit that he Googled gorilla dicks.
I think he totally is admitting it right there.
The results that he was expecting.
Okay, somebody has to Google gorilla dicks now.
Not it.
My safe search folder.
Just to verify that they do indeed, you can see their junk.
I don't think you're going to get the results you're looking for. With that particular search term.
Yeah, I doubt that either.
Someone in the side chat can do it and tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah, we'll let that fly to the people in the side chat when this premieres.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna finish. For real.
Let's please finish this.
For whatever reason, they just decided not to. They decided to not include a penis. Because on some of their fake animals, they put a really weird looking like butt area. And I don't know, it's like a distraction thing. I honestly think that's where the actors like pull that over their head. It's like kind of
Hans has been checking out gorilla butts.
Genitals. What are the genitals? Real animals have huge, and they try to say something. They try to say something about, humans.
Gorilla butts drive him nuts.
Definitely the free martins don't. But, I mean, other animals have huge gonads. The testicles should be huge on this creature. But there's nothing. There's no penis. How come you never see any gorillas who are hung like a horse? They have nothing. There's literally nothing there because it's just a person. It's not a real animal. You know, the all-seeing eye idea here.
Well, that's because
they are actors in fursuits. That's why if you look for silverback gorilla penis, it just doesn't exist.
What? Oh my god! I can't believe. I cannot believe.
Okay. Something needs to be
Yes,
said.
he did Google it.
No, I didn't. I haven't Googled it.
No,
Oh,
he just showed on his screen. He Googled it.
Old gorilla dick. Yeah. Gorillas have what's called a shaft, and their penis retracts into their shaft when they're not using it, just like a lot of animals.
Yeah, like dogs and horses. It's not like they walk around with giant boners all the time. That would be really impractical. Probably uncomfortable too.
As someone who has owned a Clydesdale, if that horse's dick was out all the time, poor guy.
Yeah.
Well,
that thing would get in his way all the time.
Be
not only
dragging the ground.
Not only that, it would be incredibly unhealthy because it's exposed. I mean, their penis is very much exposed. It's not like an outside thing. You know what I mean? Outside the body thing, like the human penis. The human penis outside the body.
Well, everyone, thanks for coming out to the Black Site 33, where we're going to be talking about animal genitalia.
Yeah. But yeah, it's inside.
No, this is why you brought me on. Okay.
Yeah, because you know a lot about dog dung.
Yeah, give us your insight. Having an internal penis, what's it like?
What's it like, man?
I cleaned it enough. I don't want to talk about it right now.
Yeah, that's probably really, really private.
You come with my OnlyFans account.
Let's get back to the gorilla dick now, okay?
I think we should wrap after that.
So
leave everyone on a high note.
Talk about evolution. Will be their answer for anything. For why things don't make sense. Oh, evolution. They don't just want you to know, oh, it's a fursuit. That's why there's no penis. And yeah, that's why there's the meme. Dicks out for Harambe.
Yeah, we sound like a boring meme. Hans Wormhat.
Thing about
every boy in
That's not why the meme started, dude. He didn't even look into why the meme started.
Well, of course he didn't.
And yeah, that's it for this video. Harambe is a person in a fursuit. Nobody dies. Nobody gets hurt.
We sound like I'm on my phone every time I'm going to narrate a video. Every animal's fake. It's just what they're doing. And I don't take the time to look at anything because everything's fake. Hans Wormhat.
And because I can't find pictures of gorilla dicks, the meme started.
And now my YouTube will forever be tarnished by views of Hans Wormhat. Thank you very much, Black Site, because I really wanted that.
Oh hey, we should just watch the McFlatty one next.
McFlatty?
I think I've had quite enough of Hans Wormhat for one evening.
Yeah. At least Jon Snow, at least he's a nice guy. He has some really dumb beliefs, but he seems like a really good guy.
Honestly, it's 2020. I'm over people using they're nice or polite as a defense. If you're an idiot or you believe shitty things, get the fuck out. I don't care if you're nice about it or if you're an asshole.
I mean, he's quite entertaining though. Like, he really is the kind of guy that I would sit down and, have a beer and shoot the shit with, but he thinks dinosaurs are fake.
And that 5G is ionizing radiation that's causing cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I think MC Toon has done a pretty good job at convincing him that 5G is not like this big conspiracy where everything
you don't remember
5G
video that came out today where he was addressing another Mark Steele claim.
I have not seen that yet.
I got an advertisement for an anti-4G beanie. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Nice.
Wow. But
maybe MC Toon will review that next.
What I remember from that live stream, MC Toon asked him at the end, did he convince him anything? He's like, no, I still believe 5G causes cancer.
Of course.
He said that he didn't change anything. He's just...
Well, I mean, he did bring something else up. I think it was in the stream that's there on your play next, where he was like, oh, so that's not 5G or something like that. I can't remember the exact context of it, but he actually understood for once that something wasn't 5G that he believed it was.
Oh, well.
I can't remember if it was Mark Steele's street lights or what it was now, but yeah. Like just because something is RF does not mean it's 5G. And John believed that everything RF had to be 5G because that's what Mark Steele says.
Yeah, he believes.
Mark Steele's an expert.
Because Mark Steele is such an
I'm an
upstanding
expert.
person.
I'm an expert on it. Did you said I'm an expert?
Didn't he? Isn't Mark Steele the one who called MC Toon a P word?
Yeah, I believe so. And the one time that he actually had the balls to go on MC Toon's channel.
Yeah, and then he had other people saying that MC Toon was the P word.
And Piss Drinker Dave came on, and Mark Steele wouldn't shut up long enough for him to get a word in, so he just left.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well,
yeah.
This has been a pretty good show.
Yeah, so welcome to the new Black Site Area 33.
And we don't even need an area. We're just Black Site 33.
Black Site 33, number 33. Yes. So expect it to be all downhill from here.
Yeah, don't set your expectations too high, folks.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, we're just do the normal hit subscribe if you want to know when we're putting out videos. Make sure you turn on the bell notification and set the notifications to all and not just personalized because YouTube is dumb. And thanks for coming out. Thanks for running the streams, Charisma. You're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good producer.
I've heard that.
We'll be here every week.
Oh.
And to our special guest, Little Wolf and ForNoRaisin. Yay!
Huge thanks to our special guest tonight.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you guys for coming and watching.
Whoop, whoop.
Belly scratches.
Bye, you awesome bipeds. We love you.
As always, keep smiling.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.